Get ready for the schedule breakdown. We're diving straight into the details on how the Ravens will navigate their 2026 season. Longtime NFL GM Marty Hurney shared exactly what he's looking for when the schedule drops, and we're breaking down the travel logistics, the bye weeks, and those crucial divisional matchups that will define the Ravens' path to victory. This is essential viewing for every fan who wants to know the real impact of this year's schedule.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the high-stakes negotiations surrounding Aaron Rodgers' return to Pittsburgh. We have the latest on what the Steelers are willing to offer the 42-year-old quarterback and what former quarterback Charlie Batch says about the massive contract demands. Find out the real money stakes involved in this saga and whether Rodgers will sign with the Steelers in 2026. Now, let's shift focus to the evolving landscape of the AFC North. We examine the exciting developments surrounding the Cincinnati Bengals, including Joe Burrow's optimism after key defensive acquisitions, and the fascinating comparison being drawn between Zay Flowers and rookie talent like Casey Conception. We'll explore the defensive retooling and what it means for Cincinnati's Super Bowl aspirations. And finally, we tackle the most concerning question mark facing the Ravens with rookie Zion Young. We look at the off-field questions, the personality traits, and the potential risks associated with this highly physical player entering the league. Will Zion Young be the edge rusher the Ravens need, or a liability? Don't miss this final analysis. Stay tuned right now for the full story. The NFL schedule release for the Baltimore Ravens for the 2026 season is set to be a measured rollout, but experts suggest the overall schedule might be more manageable than initially perceived. While the specific game order is less critical than the opponents themselves, factors like bye-week placement, divisional game scheduling, and travel logistics are key metrics for evaluating a season's difficulty. Longtime NFL GM Marty Hurney outlined the crucial elements he assesses when reviewing a schedule, focusing on the timing of byes, divisional matchups, the frequency of short weeks, and the impact of holiday games on practice and travel schedules. Analyzing the opponents, the Ravens face several playoff teams, including Buffalo, Houston, Indianapolis, Atlanta, Carolina, and Dallas in Brazil. While some opponents, like the Buccaneers and Chargers, may see offensive improvements, the overall slate is not immediately deemed overwhelming on paper. Key uncertainties revolve around the scheduling surrounding the Week 3 game in Brazil, specifically Weeks 2 and 4. The logistics of travel, particularly the potential for extended flights or the possibility of hosting multiple games around the Brazil trip, could pose challenges. The Ravens benefit from having relatively short domestic flight times compared to teams facing West Coast travel and multiple time zones, suggesting a domestic travel advantage. Hurney noted that the degree of difficulty hinges on consecutive extended road travel rather than the sheer distance. He emphasized the yin and yang dynamic in scheduling, acknowledging trade-offs between factors. Furthermore, the home field advantage is significant, especially for developing personnel. Hurney pointed out that winning at home can be vital for novice head coaches and new offensive coordinators, providing a supportive environment early in the season. The AFC North dynamic is also noted as intriguing, given the current landscape with Zach Taylor leading the Bengals, John Harbaugh with the Giants, Mike Tomlin with the NBC, and Kevin Stefanski in Atlanta. The scheduling of divisional games, whether stacked early, late, or spaced out, presents a complex balancing act for coaching staffs, forcing them to weigh the benefit of early coaching development against the disadvantage of lacking film on opponents. Aaron Rodgers' potential return to the Pittsburgh Steelers is hinging entirely on contract negotiations, with reports indicating the quarterback is seeking a significant salary increase for the 2026 season. Rodgers played for a reported $13.7 million base salary in 2025 and helped the Steelers secure an AFC North title. As a free agent, Rodgers has been in Pittsburgh over the weekend, but has not yet met with the team, instead engaging with his agent, David Dunn. Sources suggest that the key sticking point is compensation, with former Pittsburgh quarterback Charlie Batch asserting that Rodgers will not re-sign for the previous $13 million figure, estimating that his representatives are aiming for closer to $30 million. Batch emphasized that the decision is fundamentally about money, suggesting the Steelers will need to meet Rodgers' demands to secure his return. The Steelers have placed an unrestricted free agent tender on Rodgers, which includes a compensatory draft pick if he signs elsewhere before July 22. Rodgers also retains the option to retire, though contact has been maintained with head coach Mike McCarthy. In the Steelers' current quarterback situation, Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and third-round pick Drew Aller are filling the depth chart while the Rodgers situation develops. Separately, Steelers kicker Chris Boswell has secured a lucrative 4-year, $28 million extension, tying him with Brandon Aubrey for the highest-paid kicker in NFL history. In other team news, the Baltimore Ravens' former offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, has drawn comparisons between receiver Zay Flowers and Browns rookie KC Conception, highlighting similar movement skills. Furthermore, Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow expressed optimism regarding the team's offseason moves, particularly defensive acquisitions like Dexter Lawrence and Brian Cook, signaling confidence that the organization is on the right track to become a Super Bowl contender. Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is positioned for another elite season as the team transitions into a new offensive era in 2026. According to Ravens DeCosta, Jackson has successfully navigated this shift, meeting the team's expectations for the offseason program and new system. In an interview on 105.7, The Fan with Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadijo, DeCosta highlighted Jackson's positive attitude and adaptability. DeCosta stated that Jackson possesses great energy and is excited, noting that he has done an excellent job learning the new offensive approach, terminology, and system. DeCosta emphasized that mastering a new system is challenging, but Jackson's demeanor has created a great vibe. The Ravens organization remains extremely confident in Jackson heading into the upcoming season, with internal expectations for the franchise quarterback entering 2026 appearing to be sky-high. The Baltimore Ravens are facing a significant personnel question mark with the selection of rookie defensive player Zion Young. The team has a history of navigating challenging personalities, a dynamic shaped by previous coaching tenures, including the influence of former head coach John Harbaugh and the current rookie head coach, Jesse Minter. Minter is steeped in the Ravens' culture, which is reflected in early draft selections. Zion Young was not selected in the first round due to several factors. He was not initially viewed as a polished pass rusher, though he developed significant sack numbers late in his career. Concerns were also raised regarding his maturity and character, highlighted by actions in a brawl involving Michigan State and Michigan that resulted in a suspension before he transferred to Missouri. Analysts suggest that while Young possesses physical traits that could have warranted a first-round pick, off-field questions presented hurdles. Longtime former NFL general manager Marty Hurney noted that the off-field issues were the primary concern, suggesting the Ravens favored Young as an edge rusher because they liked his later development at tight end and receiver. Other executives who considered Young expressed caution. One top executive described him as a loose cannon, citing concerns about his mentality and reports of yelling during interviews, emphasizing the need to monitor his emotions. Another general manager admitted that Young was brash in meetings, dropping profanity and becoming worked up. Despite the scrutiny, some teams were more inclined to select Young, particularly following the Michigan State incident. Social media activity suggests Young enjoys escalating situations, including actions that lead to teammates being fired. The central challenge for the Ravens will be determining if Young can successfully integrate with their established defensive scheme and control his intense emotions when competing against elite talent. Whether he can complement the team's existing pass rushers and adapt quickly to the NFL environment will be crucial in validating this selection, which has shifted the team's outlook regarding starting tight end and center runs.